This video is about ill-gotten gains, materialism, dating, and building hell's army. I will allude to movies, and I urge you to consider the effect that movies have on popular culture, who mimics, emulates, and channels who and why. Women basically have been saying to me all my life, especially in the last 15 years or so, your lack of ill-gotten gains is why I am going to shun and reject you. Let's look at Michael J. White in Spawn. Who are the black martial artists? We don't see too many black martial artists or natives or Hispanic guys expressing themselves as such. Who are the black martial artists in popular culture? And how are they presented? Well, Wesley Snipes is kind of like a street smart nigga, so to speak, who outmaneuvers people in a black kind of thug kind of way, with a few martial art techniques, right? We can almost throw him out completely. Michael J. White is key because of the movie Spawn, but some of you perhaps are too young to remember this movie. His face from the movie has been superimposed on the other guy, for those of us who are old enough to remember. He's superimposed on the other guys when he plays his other roles in other movies. You know, he is this angry, demon-faced black guy who is beating up other evil guys. This is kind of the popular culture in general when you really break down the martial art movements we have in America, and the ill-gotten gains and the denial and the privilege and the entitlement and the disingenuous media and so on and so forth. This is the direction. This is where we are, other than me, right? In martial arts. So when we see the movie, the Black Panther, I didn't see the movie myself. I caught enough of the trailers and the propaganda to understand where they're going with it. Okay. His build is not like mine, nor is Michael J. White. He's a shorter, athletic black guy. More power to him, to some degree, until we consider what is the effect that he has. It's a liberal propaganda, absolutely. You know, he has, from what I've been told, a female army there. And there are a bunch of, tomboyish, kind of, for lack of a better word, kind of bald females and so on and so forth. Right? He also has this kind of brute force way about him. He's royalty. But he's a brute force jungle animal, animism, right? Animation, right? Animal, animus, spirit, animist, right? Satanist. These things overlap in a very disturbing way. Today, in today's culture, every animist can pretty much be accurately described as a Satanist, but we don't have no time for that. So where is the angel idea of the black person? We think of Michael J. White and the Black Panther as the black quote-unquote martial artists, if you even consider them that, when you look at how racist martial arts has become, right? Who takes the credit for capoeira and why? Where are the black capoeira guys? Lateef Crowder. Perhaps he is a hero in a movie that we all respect black people for. No, he is a villain in this movie and that movie and so on. In a movie where he fights against Michael J. White, come to think of it. And he lost in the martial arts science clip. You look it up on YouTube. Martial arts science kicks, right? They say his kick wasn't powerful enough, but it was an effective use of force. It just didn't quite cut it because black people aren't quite as smart as Asians and whites and Jews. That is the message. If you were a black person, a black martial artist who made a $4,000 challenge for 4 years and $1,100,000, would you settle for that? Or would you say, I called these liars out and put them in their place in reality? They can wear that see-through illusion pink thong all they want, but that's all it is. Your belt is a thong. Your reputation is a thong, and you are thong wrong. Am I wrong for being this harsh, or are they thong wrong? I'll leave that for you to figure out. Obviously, I would say I'm right. We look at the token perspective. Who are the sharper women, even in popular culture, when it comes to not education and knowledge, mind you, but perception, right? They tend to be hustle-minded women, even smarter than psychologists quite often, right? Excuse me, more perceptive, right? More analytical. They're hustle-minded. They've learned the game. They've been in situations where you better be a hustle-minded bitch or you're going to be screened out because of your specific role in society and the way you play the game. There's a lot of token perspective, but the exception doesn't make the rule. Gangsters, martial artists, martial arts societies, fraternities, police, military, right? True martial arts, mind you. These all are groups that we know have analytical minds that prey on women to some extent. It's despicable. It's pathetic. It is bitch-made. That's who forced it, bitches. But this is where we are. Look at World War II and all the rapes that took place. Look at all the fraternity rapes that take place. Look at how they operate with impunity and they use each other as witnesses. Oh yeah, women is gang raped, and you know, the rapists vouch for each other. We're good. And some slut they know at the college. Now, I'm not saying every time they're accused that they're guilty, mind you. But when they get away with it because some whore, some complicit Ursula type of witch, some Cruella de Vil scoundrel slut has said, no, she's a dumb bitch and she made it up. You know, that's despicable. Excuse my voice, I don't like making it, but I had to make my point. These groups overlap with each other in competition, and this is an image society when it comes to image, women, resources. Secret societies also break it down masterfully and control reproduction as scoundrels, mind you. Let's consider the ill-gotten gains. Spiritual and Christian. Spiritual. Often we see the New Age people, they describe themselves as warriors. The top martial artist is king. If you are not willing to stand with him, you should not call yourself spiritual. It's right there in the word spirit. You say, well, I prefer this kind of armored guy from whatever culture. He has a spirit too. Yeah, I prefer that. If I can outmaneuver him and stick him in the fucking neck and he's done, you must respect my spirit over his, especially if it's only because of your race that you won't. Or you're not spiritual, you are fleshly, you are worldly, you are a carnal desire coward. You're an empty vessel. Don't call yourself spiritual. Don't call yourself Christian if you won't stand firm with the biggest Christian of them all in terms of morals, in terms of standing firm for moral principles and not as some groupie, conservative or liberal, coward, fake Christian. If you won't stand with me, don't call yourself a Christian. If you won't stand with me, don't call yourself spiritual. You are a coward. Spirit is for warriors, for those people willing to die in the true spirit of being spiritual and to be open to interpretation. We are all humans. As you consider various arguments, you should become more and more aligned with your own if it's correct. You should not be able to find yourself sitting there and hearing my argument, and for the life of you, you can't think of why you're right and I'm wrong, and you still reject it. That is not spiritual. That is cowardly. Cowards cannot be spiritual. They are sheep. They are animals. Period. So what we have here, ladies and gentlemen, is demon illusionists versus true followers of God as Ra, the principles of Ra, the strength of the spirit marshaling society. How are you moved by the spirit if it has no strength? How are you consuming the things you need to be in the repetitive cycle of the true spirit if you have no teeth? It's the difference between being better than someone mentally, through martial arts and otherwise, and someone that sucks. Figure it out. Pure masculine sun temple martial arts spirit of Ra versus the demon, right? Demos, peasant. Demene. D-E-min. Min, the patron of chemistry. Illusionist. Ill. Illuminati illusionist, right? This goes back to the difference between who's really El and who's labeled an El Negro as part of a Masonic attempt to stigmatize with the wordplay the guy who is actually the most in touch with reality to the point where he's masterfully communicating to you in more ways than one, as a hip-hop artist, as a gangster, as a martial artist, how right he is and how much he gets it with obstacles. I repeat, with obstacles. I repeat, with obstacles considered. Considered. The feelings and the resulting denial. When we look at how the brain is wired, feelings have everything to do with consciousness. It's a long story of why that is. We're talking about the amygdala, the hippocampus, the striatum, the cerebellum, the thalamus, the gray matter, white matter, focus. Focus. I'll put this at the end of this video, the pictures that prove my point. It is commonly understood that martial arts has everything to do with emotional intelligence, focus, sharpness of brain, discipline, determination, and on and on and on. Insight, innovation, movement. Okay? The motor cortex and cortices. So as we move on, in the true spirit of reality, of God, versus a movie for emotional evil scum to slip into a trance state of denial. Let the trance end and let us transcend. The stated war against demons. They're really in the stated war against other demons. Remember, demos is peasant. What is the difference between a peasant and a warrior? One of the main differences is willpower. You reflect on your ancestors, how you behave. If you're not carrying yourself like a warrior, you're a peasant. And if you're rich, right, you use the peasant system to get money and call yourself classy. Everyone, let's clap for the glorified. No, let's not. They're bitches. Fuck a glorified peasant. He's a coward. He's a sniveling dog. Get him out of here. Take him outside, shoot him in the fucking face. Anyway, so is the state of war against other demons versus the real war against me. They're like, look, we're against the government, we're against the liberals, we're against the conservatives. Yeah. No, you're against the truth. And you're playing a game where you pretend to be against them. You're against me. You reject the truth, you slip into the game, you play your position on the battlefield. That's like saying, you know, the first baseman is against the pitcher. You're on the same fucking team. Anyway. You say, well, I'm selling the idea of being a first baseman is better than being the pitcher. Yeah, we're against each other. No, you're playing against God. You're playing against me. And for what? For materialism and social acceptance. So now, if you work the angles on this, I don't even have to express dating. For whose benefit have I been shunned? All my life, as I look at this communities, right? Who are they dating? And why? What are the cultural barriers? Why can't they look at this guy and say, he's dust? You know, he is like a Lamborghini with dust on him. Versus this is a brand new, you know, Bug or Honda Civic. This is a brand new Mercedes, brand new Lamborghini with dust on it. Even if you settle for Mercedes, shame on you. We see every woman in our society choosing that Honda Civic. Now, it's sad that I have to put it this way. Let's face it, we are dealing with dumbed down, peasant, terrorists, right? Demos, demon, demos, D-E-I-M-O-S. I've gone over this many times, means terror, a deity of terror. These people are trying to terrorize men of God using what's going to happen if you don't conform, right? You're going to go homeless, you're going to be shunned, social dejection, rejection, so on and so forth. Right? They're trying to terrorize the righteous man for being right. In a peasant spirit of cowardice. Let's gang upon him together. It's like society is like a bunch of demonic peasants with red eyes, grabbing pitchforks and shovels and shit, and as far as the eye can see, and they come toward this prince of the Igbo tribe, of this martial art king dynasty's tribe. Coming, we're here to take you on. You're not so tough now. That's where we are in society, people. I am the last sane person on the planet where it matters most. True sanity, not submission, subjugation, accepting sexual slavery for assimilation, for social acceptance. Right? Sexual slavery for social acceptance. Who's mine? Like, they're all fighting again in front of me. Like, no, choose me first. Let me get ahead. Let me haze other people with you. Choose me first. Recruit me first. That's where we are. They sold their soul for sexual slavery, for complicity, token acceptance, drinking the blood of the masses of people slaughtered all over the world for Western imperialism, for neocolonialism, for cultural appropriation, cultural conditioning, culture clash, culture shock, culture norms, trade route culture. The cultural root is evil. The cultural center is evil. Cult classic for cult classic bitch shit. Their cultural expectations include a cult classic bitch shit. Cultural receptivity. The school trance versus the martial arts sharpness, figure it out.